Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. So topic for today's video is Spring Cloud Sleuth. Spring Cloud Sleuth. So why do I want to cover this video and I want to talk about this video? There has been a very critical development around this one, Cloud Sleuth. The first paragraph, like if you go to the official documentation, you can see Spring Cloud Sleuth's last minor version is 3.1. You can check the 3.1.x branch for the latest commits. The core of this project got moved to the micrometer tracing project and the instrumentation will be moved to the micrometer. All respective projects, no longer all instrumentation will be done in a single repository. So if you see, there has been movement of this project. So before this version 3.x, the way we have been using a Spring Cloud Sleuth, we won't be able to use it. So if I come to start.spring.io, by default you see it is giving me 3.2.0, and if I go to add dependencies section and I search for sleuth, it's not giving anything. Instead, if I search for the micrometer, it is giving me many options, New Relic, Prometheus and other things. So this is the development. So what will happen? Whatever we are using like Cloud Sleuth in the existing project and I move to the Spring.3.x, so things will be broken. Cloud Sleuth won't be resolved. Okay, so so what is the way that I can do? So officially a migration guide is published, how we can move it. So that's why I wanted to cover it. For my friends who are new to this one and don't know about the Spring Cloud Sleuth, it is about distributed tracing. What is distributed tracing? Distributed tracing is a method used in a software development and system monitoring to track and profile the execution of requests as they travel across multiple services in a distributed system. In the distributed system, a single request from a user may trigger a series of actions and interactions between various components and services, each running on a different server or container. So you see, we are in the distributed microservices architecture. So they will be spawning across different server and containers. The purpose of distributed tracing is to provide visibility into the flow of these requests, helping developers and system admins understand how different services contribute to overall processing of the request. It is particularly valuable in microservices architecture where applications are built as collection of small distributed independently deployable services. What are the basics of distributed tracing and how it works? First and foremost is the instrumentation. Developers have to put some code in their source code to instrument the request. So whatever is coming, whenever the code is being executed, there should be some code should be something that is instrumenting that code and putting some sort of unique identifier with all those requests. Second step is the propagation. So first step is done, instrumentation is done, some unique ID is there with the request. So that request, as that request travels through different services, the unique identifier is propagated, allowing each service to link its activities back to the original request. So see, first service is there, second service is there. So whatever unique ID is assigned in the first service, it should be propagated to across all systems. The third is the collection. So it has instrumented and ID is propagated now. Now the third step is to collection, like how we collect that data. Trace data including the unique identifiers and timing information is collected from each service. This data is typically sent to centralized system for storage and analysis. Final step is the visualization and analysis. So we have done the storage. So the collected data is used to generate visualization such as trace diagrams or timelines, which shows the path of a request through the system. Developers can analyze this information to identify performance bottlenecks, troubleshoot issues, and optimize the system. This is what distributed tracing is. So I'll take one more minute to show this in a diagram way. So this is the very high level architecture of any application you can see. I have taken the e-com service, like we have some sort of front end, there is an API gateway, behind API gateway we have all other services. Let's say user authentication is there, product microservice is there, order microservice is there, then further we have payment microservice, and very critical component, we have a notification service. We have two form of communications here: synchronous communication, API to API communication, and asynchronous communication, where any sort of messaging framework. Here I have taken example of the Kafka topic that is in our architecture to take care of the asynchronous system. So any request that is initiated from the front end, it is going to API gateway. At this moment only, unique ID generated. That ID is going to the user authentication, and then further to the Kafka topic, then notification, and then further whatever services are in place to complete this task, that ID propagates throughout the system. So we have logging system, we have seen the collection, storage, and visualization. Those IDs will be pushed to that system, and when we get hold of that ID, I can trace it, I can visualize that one in that tool. For visualization, we have many tools like New Relic, Datadog, Dynatrace is there, and many more providers are there. This is the importance of the tracing. So without this tracing, it is going to be the nightmare to debug any issue if it is coming in picture. In any way, it will take time, manual effort will be there, individual teams will be there. You will be able to do that, not an issue. Everyone is expert, but how easily and quickly you can do it, that is the point here. Distributed tracing plays a critical role here. So coming to the main topic that we have, so you know now Spring Cloud Sleuth usability and how it can be done. See, what is Micrometer, where this has moved all this sort of thing, right? So what is this? What is Micrometer? Vendor neutral application observability facade. So it is specifically for observability only. Micrometer provides a simple facade over the instrumentation clients for the most popular observability system, allowing you to instrument your JVM based application code without vendor lock-in. This thing SLF4j, but for observability. So it just, you can imagine SLF4j, under the hood we have different logging systems. So same thing is with the Micrometer. Micrometer is the observability framework. Under the hood you have options to choose between different things. So, and one more important thing, it is for the JVM based application only, not the JavaScript, Python and other things. So it is for Java application only. We can get the dimensional metrics, pre-configured bindings, and it is integrated into Spring. That is the most awesome thing. Support for popular observability system, like you see AppOptics, Azure Monitor, Atlas, CloudWatch, the examples that I was telling, like New Relic, OpenTelemetry, all sort of thing, it supports that one. Through Micrometer observation and Micrometer tracing, you can ship your spans and traces via Jipkin Brave or OpenTelemetry tracers to different backends. So these two important, they are instrumentation libraries, OpenJipkin Brave or OpenTelemetry. You can use that one very easily. Okay, so that's about this one. And what is the second link that is given? So it is the official documentation, Micrometer tracing, purpose, installing, how we can use it, right? So I'll give the links in the description box itself. You can go ahead and it's very easy to try it out the way we were using Spring Cloud Sleuth, but it is going to take a bit of analysis and some sort of time it is going to take. That is where I'm going to help here. In further videos, I'll put up one link in the comment or in the description section where I have used this Micrometer tracing to instrument a sample application that involves the API to API communication and Kafka topic as well. So that will give the whole picture, like how you can set it up. And I have also used the visualization tool like Jipkin, how you can push the traces there and how you can push the traces there and how you can visualize that. In past also on the original channel like CodeFarm or Green Learner, I have pushed the videos about Spring Cloud Sleuth. You can go ahead and check out that, but new one is coming up. Wait for that. Check the description and comment section. So this is the official documentation that obviously you can go ahead and try this out one. So I am going to try this out in the next video. So what next about this one? So Spring has officially given a documentation about this observability, how you can try this out one. So this link is also going in the description box. Go ahead and check out this as well. Observability with Spring Boot 3. So this is the sample example. Step-by-step guide is there. You can try this out as well. So this is also important to go through blocks of such kind. You see, the important thing is the comment section that I see it. a lot of analysis. People face issues using this one. What is the next thing is coming up? That discussion I really like. So I suggest you to go through and monitor these things as well, right? So you can see the contributors, and maybe the issue that you are going to face is already faced by someone and it is fixed in some way. So we can get that idea as well, right? So just to visualize this one, this is how tracing information is propagated, and this is how in like whatever visualization tool that you use, if you use Grafana, Prometheus, this is how you are going to see the graphs and metrics. I hope you are aware of this metrics, that how it is shown. Okay, so that's all about this video, right? Spring Cloud Sleuth, move to the micrometer tracing. Its migration is very easy to do that one. I'm going to show that in the next video. I'll see you there in the demo one. Okay, till then, take care. Bye bye.